Morning, all. All right, so we have 12 games today, one postponement. The postponement for today is the New York Rangers and the Ottawa Senators. The Senators will be practicing today, and they'll be back playing hockey on Monday, but that Rangers game will get moved to another date. But we have 12 other games today, two that are relatively early starts at 4 o'clock Eastern, 1 o'clock Pacific, and then we run all the way until a 10:30 Eastern, 7:30 Pacific start time. So normally when there's two games that are earlier, I'll review them before we get into all the other games that night. I don't think I'm going to have time today because we have a game starting 2 hours later, so there'll be overlap there. And then, of course, there's overlap with all the other games getting started. So I'll see what I can do, but I don't think that I'm going to be able to get a review posted for these games before these ones are done at the end of the night. But we'll see, right? All right, and we're starting with at 4 Eastern, 1 Pacific, the New Jersey Devils, the Tampa Bay Lightning. New Jersey did well against Florida at the start. It petered out for them quickly. For Tampa, they're coming off of that shootout win over Philadelphia. They're playing very well. They're 9-3-3. For New Jersey, they're 7-5-3. They need to start stringing some wins together here. This is the first of three meetings. They'll meet again on January 10th as well as January 27th. Also at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific, the Carolina Hurricanes in against the Los Angeles Kings. The Kings are 8-6-2, and I get the feeling that maybe this is, a time where it's an early game. Carolina on a, road trip. Maybe this is where Carolina ends up dropping a game. They're 13-2. They can afford to drop a game, right? The second and final meeting between these teams will be on December 18th, so a little less than a month from now. Also, at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific, the Minnesota Wild in against the Florida Panthers. Minnesota 11-5, coming off of that huge win over Dallas. Florida 12-2-3, seem to be getting themselves righted after a bit of a skid there, which I figured they'd be able to do. The next meeting between these teams will be December 16th, and so a little less than a month before they finish out their battle as well. This is gonna be an interesting game. Then at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, the Pittsburgh Penguins will look to do to Toronto what they did to them last time. Pittsburgh 6-6-4. Toronto is 12-5-1. That 7-1 loss against Pittsburgh on October 23rd, maybe that was the experience that woke up Toronto and helped them turn their season around. So this is the second meeting tonight. Their final meeting will be December 29th. So they will finish up their run against one another before we turn the calendars to 2022. And it'll be interesting to see what happens tonight. Pittsburgh is trying to keep their head above water and hoping to do so and get themselves into a playoff race when guys like Malkin are back in the lineup. Also at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific, the Nashville Predators 9-6-1 in against the Montreal Canadiens, who are 4-13-2. We can use all the superlatives we want, but really Montreal, every game is a must-win now. And so this is no different. This is the first meeting of two. The second will be December 4th. So they'll play each other a couple of times in pretty short periods here, and we'll see how things go. Honestly, I do hope that Montreal gets some wins going here because it's been sad, and the fans are clearly angry, and coming from somebody who's not that far from Vancouver, I know how that works. Also at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific, the Calgary Flames will be in UBS Arena. The brand new arena. Islanders open it tonight. So expect that while it says a 7 o'clock Eastern start time, it will not start then. We will have ceremonies. We will have a lot of the groundbreaking stuff that you get. Opening night of a brand new arena. It may go for a while. I've seen that happen before. So I'm just saying, the Islanders, who are 5-6-2, they desperately need wins. Calgary 9-3-5, got off to a very good start. Things got rocky for them. They just destroyed Buffalo a couple nights ago. If they can go in and hang a loss on the Islanders in their first night in a new building, they make themselves look that much better on a night where there's a board I'm pointing at that they could find themselves in a pretty good spot on. The second meeting between these teams will be on January 11th. At 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific, the Boston Bruins and Philadelphia Flyers will renew their rivalry. 8-5 is the record for Boston. 8-4-3 is the record for Philly. Last time they met was October 20th. Philadelphia won that one 6-3. The third and final meeting between these teams will be January 13th. So really for Boston, it's been interesting because this is a team that's 8-5. That's a decent record. And yet, if you read any articles about the Boston Bruins, it'll sound like they have a terrible record. They're off to one of the worst starts in history. Like, you would think this, and you'd be forgiven for thinking that. But yeah, so we'll see how things go in Philadelphia tonight. I don't think it's all doom and gloom when it comes to Boston. I also think Philadelphia, pretty good team. So yeah, this could be kind of a fun one. Then an hour later at 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 Pacific, the Dallas Stars, looking to bounce back from what was a humiliating loss against Minnesota, will be at home against St. Louis, a team that traditionally things don't necessarily go all that well for Dallas against. The St. Louis Blues 9-5-2 currently. The Dallas Stars 6-7-2. This is the first of 4 meetings between these teams. They'll meet again on December 14th, December 17th, as well as January 9th. So they'll meet 4 times over a very short period here. If Dallas is going to fix their season and get themselves rolling, wins over St. Louis would help. That's a division rival. So we'll see how things go. Also at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific, the Arizona Coyotes, who are undefeated in regulation in their last 2. They have a shootout loss and they have a win in their last 2. So don't look now. It's Arizona's time. 2-13-2 for Arizona. Detroit, they're 8-9-2. They're looking to turn their season back in the direction they wanted it to go. And this is the first of 2 meetings. They'll meet again on March 8th. So be interesting to see if Detroit can go in and beat Arizona. Arizona, as I said, the last couple of games, they've looked completely different. This team has looked completely different, and we'll see if that continues tonight. And if Arizona wins tonight, there's the possibility they won't be last on the power rankings. That absolutely could be a thing. Then at 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific, so there's 2 hours between the start time here and the start time here. And it'll be the Oilers at home against the Chicago Blackhawks. The Oilers are 12-4, Chicago's 5-9-2. And yet it's Keith's first game against Chicago in his history. So we'll see how it goes. This is the first of 3 meetings. They'll meet again January 18th and March 3rd. Well, I mean, Duncan Keith will be in there unless Rick Bowness scratches him at the last minute. So, yeah, first of 3 meetings between these teams. Chicago, another team looking to get their season back on track. They've won some games in a row now. If they can go in and beat Edmonton, it might turn some heads. Chicago could absolutely turn some heads if they can go in and beat the Oilers tonight. 10 o'clock Eastern, 7 Pacific as well for the Vegas Golden Knights. They're at home against the Columbus Blue Jackets. Columbus are 9-5 on the season. Vegas is 10-7. So Vegas has definitely got it going for Columbus. If they can go in and beat Vegas, again, some good bragging rights there, right? The next meeting between these teams will be March 13th. Then at 10:30 Eastern, 7:30 Pacific, San Jose at home against the Washington Capitals. So Washington continuing their road trip here. Washington 10-2-5 on the season. San Jose is 8-7-1. This is the first of 2 meetings. They will meet again on January 26th. So there you go. 12 games, 1 postponement, and we'll see how things go tonight. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.